Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm so glad you're here this Friday morning. What a way to end the week with a show like this. And I got a special guest here in the studio you're really going to enjoy. But first, our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. Folks, it's a little cool. It's going to be a low of 43 and a high of 69. But the amazing thing again, the water temperature has hit 70 degrees, folks. It's 71.3. Now, this weekend, I know some of y'all are going out. They're going to be, those Spanish mackerel will actually be jumping in the boat. You don't even have to go fishing for them. There's going to be so many out there, I promise you. Sheephead are going to be jumping in the boat. Somebody's going to catch a cobia. I'm talking about 71. It's actually 71.4 degrees, so that is really good. Move along. The river readings brought to us by Sandhill Seafood. And the restaurant up there, I told you yesterday, they are the best cheese grits I've ever eaten. You got to go give them a try. That place go to Bluntstown. Dropping out a little bit is at a 7.5 this morning. Choctaw at Caryville at an 8.9. Both rivers will be pretty level, not a lot of movement on them this weekend. Take a look at his tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. It's the last day of these neap tides. We're about to get in some really good tides next week. Basically a high at 12:37 this morning and a low at 10:58. Marine forecast, north-northeast. It's going to be fascinating now. North-northeast today. Then tomorrow is going to be east-northeast. Then Sunday, east-southeast. Now, that don't mean a lot to some folks, but if you're a fisherman, that little bit of swing is going to mean a lot. By Sunday afternoon, it's going to really be important, again, on that cobia. Okay, now, let's go ahead and do our fishing game times on this segment here. We're looking at, and they're brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers down in Port St. Joe. 3:56 to 5:56 this morning, and this afternoon, 4:24 to 6:24. So just as soon as you get off work, it'll be a good time to go do that. Now we know we got a lot of drawings on Friday. I'm going to start the first one here during the weather. Then we'll do the other two, but I got to add two names from last night, Harold Posey and Irene Nail over in Parker. Okay, this would be for, we're doing this one for the Sandhill Seafood giveaway. This is going to be two winners. Each one get a half bag of oysters. Good, don't it? The winner of the first one is Chuck Kirsten from Panama City, and the second half bag of oysters goes to, get that out of the bottom right here, Minnie Johnson up there in Kynard. All right, two winners right there. All right, let's take a break and we'll be right back. Welcome back, folks, and welcome to our guest, Miss Stacy Bolster. Good morning.
Good morning, Winston.
We're glad to have Stacy. Listen, I've been trying to get her to come on a long time. This is our boss. This is the lady that runs Fox 28 WPGX.
Yes.
And we're glad to have the head dog. I said, I'm going to call it the boss, the head dog, whatever the outdoorsman. When I say head dog, you know what I'm talking about. But we're glad you made it.
Well, thank you, Winston, and I can't thank you enough for being part of the Fox 28 family here in Panama City.
This is just exciting. I can't believe we've been doing this long, and the folks here are just great. I've been trying to get Stacy to come on because Stacy, believe it or not, is an outdoor girl.
Yes.
And that's why I wanted to, here she is, head of Fox 28 here. And we got all kind of, tell us some, basically, how'd you end up in Panama City?
Well, it's the New England without the snow. I'm from Hampton, New Hampshire. I grew up hunting, fishing, snowmobiling, clamming, and skeet shooting. My father was a very avid outdoorsman, and it kind of trickled down to me.
That's okay. You know, we talk about dads and daughters and all. This is a classic case right here. She has kids of her own now, but as growing up, you had an outdoor dad.
I sure did, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a testimonial I wanted her to give. You know, all week long we've had these ugly boys on like Travis and David Whitfield yesterday, and now we get a pretty lady to come on that's still an outdoorsman. So
yes.
So you're down here now.
I'm down here now. I relocated in 1996.
Okay.
I've been with Fox 28 about 14 years now, and again, I wouldn't change a thing. We still have our family up in New England, and so we travel back quite frequently. Mm-hmm. We try to instill things that my husband and I, my husband's from Maine, that we grew up doing, and so he enjoys, our son Logan Bolster enjoys going back to his parents' heritage,
Exactly.
things of that nature.
We're talking about the heritage here in the South, outdoors and all, but it's strong up there in the Northeast because everybody I run into has some kind of background in and outdoors up there.
Yeah. Yeah, anything from snowmobiling to, I was the girl that the boys were afraid to take on a challenge with.
There's always that girl.
Yeah.
Always that girl. Okay, look, we got a couple of pictures. We're going to look at these pictures, and we got some more in the second segment. Let's start off with this one right here. Tell us about this one.
This is Logan, my son, and this is a picture of him and his cousin up in Kittery, Maine. This is the Bass Pro of Kittery.
Okay.
This is called the Kittery Trading Post. Moccasins, shotguns, I mean, you name it, you can find it there. And we enjoy we can go there and spend hours just at the bows and the arrows and just everything outdoors.
We know that feeling, don't
yes,
we? Spend
yes.
hours in one of those stores. Okay, let's see now. We got this one right here. Tell us
Oh
about
my. Well, when I was 14 years old, my dad entered me into skeet shooting tournaments and all throughout New England. And normally, you'd win a ham or a turkey, but this was a championship, and I won. I was 14 years old.
Wow.
I would shoot a side-by-side 12-gauge Browning, and I was the only girl in high school that would come to school with a sore shoulder, but it wasn't from gymnastics. It was from practicing. I got up to 3 pulls, where they send out 3 pigeons at one time, and they're not real pigeons, they're clay pigeons. And so
you were hitting 3?
I was hitting 3.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now we know that's strong right there.
I'm pretty rusty, but
That's pretty-
I hear you. There's a new
At
place.
the shooting range, we need to go there one day. Jeff, we need to take her out there and let her shoot at the shooting range to see if she can recapture that.
The youth.
Okay. All right, here we go on this final picture today, on this segment.
Oh, this is my husband Steve, myself, and our son Logan. One of our trips up north was with the North County River Whitewater Rapids. Excuse me. Unfortunately, Logan couldn't go on this trip because you have to weigh a certain amount, or you'll just be bounced right out of the boat. What an experience! Adrenaline rush. Again, just the outdoors and just living.
So you know the feeling.
I know the feeling.
All right. Now, speaking of feeling, I know y'all are anticipating the next drawing. Now, this drawing is going to be from Real Time Fisheries, and this is going to be your choice of a couple of pounds of shrimp or that big old seafood platter they cook over there, right there on the spot. I've eaten that. That is really good. That'd be a tough choice for me, but I'm going to let Stacy.
Oh, okay.
Stacy's going to put the pressure on so they can get mad at you if you don't draw their name, not at me. So you pull out one name, and let's see who it is going to be.
Okay, good luck.
And the winner is from Youngstown, Clyde Rochester from Youngstown.
Congratulations.
Very good. Okay, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with more good stuff with Stacy. Okay, welcome back, folks. Glad you're with us this Friday morning. Got an exciting weekend planned, but right now we have Miss Stacy Boaster on our show, and she is a boss here at Fox 28. And your story is encouraging because you just came in and just worked yourself up. And
I did,
tell us what
Winston.
happened.
14 years ago, I applied thinking I was going to get a position as an assistant. I came in and interviewed, and they said, well, you've got the personality to sell. I said, well, if I can sell natural gas in the state of Florida and sell you a fireplace when it's 90 degrees out, yeah, I guess I can sell. So they put me in the sales department here at Fox 28, and I worked my way up from an account executive to a senior account executive to the local sales manager. And about 4 years ago, our current general manager, Heather Moore, had an opportunity in Huntsville, Alabama, and she took that position. Yeah. And I was interviewed for the general manager's position, and here I am.
Well, that's awesome, and it's been a bed of roses.
Yes, and it can happen.
Yeah.
You know, you start at the bottom and work your way up. Raycom Media, who owns Fox 28, is one of the biggest broadcast companies. We currently own 64 television stations across the United States, and I couldn't be more happier to be a part of such a large company. Our footprint is just...
And you go to meetings pretty regular up there in Birmingham?
I do. Our corporate office is located in Montgomery. We are hubbed, which means our television signal is fed through our Birmingham station. So yes, I travel quite frequently to the Birmingham and Montgomery markets.
And there's some good folks here at the station.
Yes.
I've gotten them over the years. They're hardworking.
Yes.
I want to recommend you want to give Jeff a big raise.
Yes.
And Bob and all those
Absolutely.
people. And I know they're really wanting to put me on prime time, but I'm not quite ready for prime time yet. But
We're working on it.
That's good. There's a great relationship we have here, and just good folks, and we're just glad to bring you outdoor stuff. And then when we tie in outdoors with the boss here, that's exciting.
Well, it was funny, you know, we have conversations all the time, but, you know, a lot of times it's about the show and, you know, not about me. And when you posed the question, I was like, well, you know.
Yeah, you're natural. In fact, you might be one of my guest hosts when I go on vacation or something.
I'm going to have to charge you double for that.
And you still have your guns.
I do. I have all my guns, and we might have to take you up on that skeet shooting competition.
Well, look, you brought some pictures here. This is a fascinating picture.
Yeah.
I told her to bring some pictures of growing up and different outdoor stuff she did. So let's just go through them one at a time, and you just tell us about them, and Jeff can put them on the screen.
My dad grew up on the water, and then this is me. I was about 2.5, I think, and this lobster I'm holding, thankfully he put the bands on it, but this lobster was almost 20 pounds.
Oh,
and so he would bring home critters all the time and let them crawl around the house. I had several raccoons growing up, squirrels, and I played with lobsters.
All right, that's cool.
Another thing I used to play with, there's a cluster of islands off the coast of New Hampshire. One of the islands we used to go to was called Smutty Nose, and it was a huge seagull breeding, and so we would go out there and play with the seagulls and get pooped on quite a bit, but Isles of Shoals, and we would camp out there and go snorkeling for lobsters, things of that nature.
Okay, all right.
I grew up on the docks. Here's a picture of me. I was about 3 years old, standing on top of a 800-pound tuna fish.
Ooh.
So we would spend lots of time out at the dock when my dad would come in from fishing, and would play on the tunas and look at the eyeballs and
squash them
and get things of that nature.
Okay.
Here's a picture of my husband and his best friend. They won the moose lottery one year.
Wow.
This was, I think this moose weighed about 1,200 pounds. And currently the antlers are in my garage. But it's certainly a lottery, and they got lucky enough to team up and have a win on that.
Wow.
I've tried moose meat. It's okay, but I prefer venison, I think, over that. Okay. Here's a picture of me hitting the mountain trails on my snowmobile. That was always quite the adventure, and skiing and ice fishing. And I remember ice fishing one year with my dad, and it's not a reel method. It's a string that you wrap around 2 nails when you're pulling up. And a smelt just happened to chase my line up, and I looked, and I was like, oh my goodness, and my reaction, I reached down and I snatched it up out of the ice, and my dad just looked at me and said, I got it, you know, so that was quite the adventure.
All right.
Growing up on the Atlantic, 10-foot swells was not
It's rough.
yeah, rough,
Yeah.
very, very rough. But the key is cat food. When you are chumming, you've got to have cat food.
Okay. Let's try that here.
Yeah, caught a 19-pound bluefish on a 10-pound test.
Yeah.
I looked at my dad, I said, you got to help me. He said, no, you got this.
Oh,
About
okay.
35
That's
minutes
cool.
it took me to get that fish in the boat, but
That's cool.
I did it.
That's cool.
And there's half the battle. As you can see, that rod is just
What an
in the
experience.
water, in the water.
What a great experience.
Yep.
All right.
Here's another tuna my dad caught.
That's a big tuna.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, one year he caught an 800-pound tuna. Got it to the docks, and of course they do the
Right.
testing on all
Yeah.
that. It was full of white cloud is what they call it.
Yeah.
It was unfortunately it was a cancerous fish.
Oh, man.
So yeah, the
That was
payday
bad.
on that fish
It would have been good.
didn't pan out.
Okay. And the last two pictures? Or last
The last one, the old man on the mountain.
Oh, yeah.
Several years ago, he took his demise, and this is a symbol of where I grew up, the White
cool.
Mountains. Old man on the mountain, Kangamangas Highway, a lot of camping,
A lot of good memories.
a lot of good memories.
That's awesome.
But I'm thrilled to be here in Bay County because it's my New Hampshire without the snow.
That's true. That's true. And did you want to show this real quick?
Yeah, this is a shot of my husband, Steve Bolster. This was an 80-foot pine tree. He did a lot of cutting and he climbed. No buckets. He would climb these trees.
Wow.
And this was a job that I was on with him. And when he topped that tree at about 75 feet, I was on the rope below, making sure the top landed where it needed to. But when that top came off, he had to hang on to that thing. That tree just went.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. Pretty amazing.
Awesome. That's awesome. All right. Well, you've been a great guest.
Thanks for having me, Winston.
We're going to do one more drawing.
One more.
One more drawing. So here we go. This goes to Tarpon Dock Seafood, and we have two winners again now. The first winner will be a $20 gift certificate, and the second winner will be a big red snapper. Okay, so
All
here we
right.
go. This is a $20 gift certificate. You can call that name. I'm going to let you call that name. See.
Larry Stevens out of Youngstown.
Okay, Larry.
All right.
That's your $20.
Congratulations.
And the red snapper winner is going to be one more.
Rosie King.
Rosa King. All right, we've got it all spread out. 5 big winners today. Again, thank you for coming on.
My pleasure.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you again for being part of our family here at Fox 28.
Oh, I love it. This is family down here. All right, we're going to take a break and we'll come back with a famous Friday fishing report. Okay, welcome back, folks. Let's take a look at our famous Friday fishing forecast, and we have a really good report this week. We had a little bit of a cold snap, but we really got some good stuff coming in. I want to talk about freshwater first, and the number one thing was, last week I talked about they're catching in the month of February, the last week or two of February, the fly fishermen were catching brim off of fly. Now that means a whole lot because if they're doing that at Deer Point Lake and a river system, that means that's a really early spring. So keep that in mind. Fly fishing has started. I also wrote down on freshwater, the stripers and hybrids have still been pretty strong this week. It should be a good weekend for stripers and hybrids. So really good stuff. And then the bass, of course, you know what the bass situation is. They're getting ready to spawn soon, and we'll talk about that next week. I want to go down to, let's jump over, I'm going to bounce around. Let's jump over to Choctawhatchee Bay. Victor Hathcote, who was our guest last week and did a great job. He did go fishing some this week, and he caught a few small trout and all on Choctawhatchee Bay. Choctawhatchee Bay should be taking off soon. The river's getting down and it should be good. Right now it's slow, but surf fishing down there, anywhere from Grayton Beach all the way down to Inlet Beach. You've seen the pictures, it's been good. I wrote down the Pompano. Pompano is really strong down there still, but I'm still saying the Pompano run has not started yet, although we're catching them. A little bit, it's sort of like this right now, but it's not up here yet. So the Pompano being caught down there, and also catching some trout, small trout on that side. Okay, let's go. I'm going to read Mitch Coleman's report. He sent it to me. I'm going to read it off my phone, we hope. So Mitch was talking about the water temperature down there is 68 to 69 degrees offshore and 66 to 67 inshore. Large bait schools of glass minnows indicate Spanish. The Spanish run should start any day now. The Spanish run is going to start. I'm predicting probably this weekend. First reports over the weekend, they caught some over around Crooked Island Sound during the early part of the week. Great numbers of AJs on structure, and a lot, but go halfway down because the bait column is about halfway down in the water. It's a good tip there. The beach fishing down in Mexico Beach is a mixed bag of whiting, small pumps, and catfish. So that's important too. Now, let's talk about here in Panama City. We're looking at the sheephead bite is strong at the jetties now, so, and keep a distance. I saw this week somebody posted somebody was fishing with sheephead and the boat ran right up next to them. Keep a cushion. We talk about it all the time. Give other folks room to fish and all. Don't get up there next to them. That's just good common courtesy, okay? The one thing I picked up this week talking to different fishermen and all, they're all saying fish early, get out there early, and get out, you know, or catch them late. So we're not a lot of tidal flow and everything. Fish early and fish late. That's sort of a motto good fishermen have. Also want to move down right there at the T at Mexico Beach. I'm going to bounce around. Right there at the T, they're catching some redfish. Okay, y'all know where the T, we talked about it, the T right in here, because that's the T where this St. Joe Bay connects right here. That's the intercoastal. There's some redfish holding in right in here, and between the landing up here, down here, there's some trout all along through here. So that's some pretty good fishing. And Wimico is doing good right now too. All right, let's see what else I got written down. I've got another minute or two. The surf fishing, I mentioned earlier, surf fishing, Cape San Blas, they're catching some pompano, but they're not catching a whole lot. They're scattered. I'm going to really try to go next week, and I'm going to give you all a first-hand report. With me bouncing around, okay, offshore, here in Panama City, go back to the jetties up here. Crooked Island Sound is doing well. I got a good report from a guy at Crooked Island Sound. He had a mixed bag. He and his fishing buddy had a mixed bag. He had Spanish, he had pompano, he had trout, and he had a redfish. But they fished all day and got, just had a mixed bag. So if you can do that and stay there a good long time, especially with the wind like it is, stay back in that area is going to be really good. St. Joe Bay is holding some nice trout around Black's Island. Here in St. Andrew Bay, again, you're going to do good off the jetties. If you want to fish the jetties, you can walk in and fish the jetties here for sheephead. And also you can, if you got a boat, I'm going to show you the area people are going to get, and they just spawn around these rocks, okay? But they not only here, and you heard Travis Basford talk about Courtney Point. He found some Spanish here, and sheephead, okay, right out here. If you're going to Spanish mackerel fish this weekend, what you want to do is just circle out through here, make a big circle, give people plenty of room and everything. I about run out of time. Thank y'all watching Panhandle Outdoors, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.